Yo, before we begin, I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to my boys Chris and Don for lending me their voices on this. Go check out their channels to make amazing animated storytime content and enjoy the video.
Babe, come on, I promise, just one round. I already told you we're not doing anything tonight, but no! Okay, fine. Just the tip. Just the tip. What does that even mean, bro? That shit sounds so fucking stupid. Nobody in the history of ever has put just the tip. Like, nigga, we both know you're lying and she knows it too, so why even bother? And what I find to be even crazier is that there are people who actually believe all these liars when they tell them just the tip. Well, that and I love you, but let's focus on the tip. There should be no way anybody can be that stupid. I genuinely believe that anyone who agrees to just the tip wanted to do it anyway and was looking for an excuse to not take responsibility for their actions. Personally, I have never used this statement and I never will. I mean, it's just so stupid. And besides, I have better, more effective ways of embarrassing myself around women. I would rather chew through jeans with toothless gums before I ever tell a woman just the tip. Absolutely disgusting. Which is why I am disgusted with myself, because the very first time I had the real opportunity to plug my flash drive in a girl's USB port was a just the tip experience. Yes, I know, I was a disappointment. Get over it and let me tell the story. Now, this video picks up where my last video ended. I'll do a summary, but I'd advise you go check it out to fully understand the story. Previously on Stello.exe, I was horny as I was still a virgin and it didn't seem like it was going to change anytime soon, but I was blessed by puberty in my later years of high school. I get a friend request from this girl who I thought looked vaguely familiar. She's all like, I heard a lot about you from my sister, so I decided to check you out for myself, and I'm not disappointed. This was an older girl with more experience. We were both attracted to each other and I was trying to get laid. Bro, you can't be dating Harley because I'm dating Harley. We get to our office and this girl just acts like there's nothing wrong. Word on the streets was that she was a team player and she'd gotten real friendly with a lot of guys on the team. So when I heard this, I thought, I could make this work. She tells me to pull up to the office because our boss was out. I get there as soon as possible, but then I see that one of our older co-workers was still there. Some time goes by and our co-worker gets up and leaves. Harley goes to close the door and sits on the table with barely any space between us, and we're getting closer and closer to each other. Eventually, we get real close, and then we're hanging out in our boss's office with the door open when I see our co-worker get up and leave. Harley and I wait a few minutes to see if she was coming back, and when she didn't, Harley went to go close the door, then she sat on the table directly in front of me. We continued talking and the whole time we're closing the gap between us. Eventually, we get really close and we start making out. On the outside, I was trying to act cool while all this is happening, but on the inside, fireworks. Bro, it was finally going to happen. This was the day I became a man. I tried to take her shirt off to see what her reaction was going to be, and bro, this girl took the shirt off by herself. I get even bolder and I reach for her bra, and she took that off herself too. And in that moment, I thought to myself, damn, God really snapped when he made women. You see, it was also my first time seeing boobs in real life. Like before then, I'd seen them in corn, but this time it was different. They were right in front of me. I could touch them and feel them, and they were beautiful. We move to a chair and then she reaches for my belt, and before I can even shut myself up, my mouth goes, "What are you doing?" I immediately regret saying that, but she giggles and says, "What do you think I'm doing? Sex?" Oh my god, that hurt me to share. I cannot believe I said that. Jesus Christ. Wow, that was so bad. She giggles again and then she pulls out my and starts stroking it. I don't think you understand, bro. I was about to get some for the first time and it was going to be from an older girl. I was on top of the world, but I had to come back down to earth because just as she was about to give me a demonstration of what throat goat stood for. Her coworker walks back into the shop. Harley and I quickly get dressed before she gets to where she could see us. We open the door and act like nothing happened, and I just leave after a few minutes. I may have been interrupted this time, but I was not going to give up. A few weeks go by and I go to see Harley again. I get there this time and it's her boss who's around, along with some other guy who was a customer and was also Harley's friend. Her boss knew me, so I said hello to him, and since Harley was doing some work at the moment, I decided to talk to the other guy. He was actually pretty chill and we even exchanged numbers and added each other on Facebook. Harley's boss says he has to rush somewhere and tells her that he wasn't coming back and she'd have to close the shop by herself. I immediately saw this as an opportunity and I was going to take it. Nothing was going to stand in my way. Her boss leaves and Harley finishes up what she was doing, so she joins me and the other guy. We're all chilling, then I noticed that the guy's getting a little handsy and shit. And at first, I'm getting mad, and in that moment, I am contemplating what my mugshot was going to look like, because I was going to send both Harley and this guy to meet Michael Jackson, because this girl obviously did not respect me. And while the guy didn't know what she and I had going on, I was still pretty mad. So I was like, f this nigga. Everybody is dying. I am turning people into t-shirts. So I pick up a pen and I this guy and then I beat the up of that.
He actually did it. He'd be a fucking hashtag right now if he did. Hashtag free Stello. Anyway, what he actually meant to say was that while he was pissed, he kept his cool, because he thought to himself, well, if Shawty's moving like this even in front of me, then she ain't worth it and I should just leave.
And that's exactly what I didn't do.
You were thinking with your dick again, weren't you?
Yes, I was, but I can explain. Just hear me out.
You know what? I'm actually curious to hear what you have to say. Please tell me.
She had a nice personality.
Bro, what?
Nah, I'm just kidding, bro. She had a nice ass, better than most of the girls at my school. What?
Wait, how old were you?
About 15.
And how old was she?
Older.
How old?
17, possibly 18, maybe 19.
Nigga, what? Bro, isn't that like statutory?
Well, I mean, technically. Bro, just let me finish the damn story.
You know what, Don? Let's hear how it ends.
Thank you. Back to the story. You see, earlier when I was hanging out with bro, he mentioned that he was going somewhere soon and he just wanted to see Harley before he left. So I decided to be patient and wait my turn. This was an opportunity that I wasn't going to just let go. I did not come this far just to come this far. He eventually leaves. They even kiss each other goodbye. But my down bad ass did not care, bro. I had a goal and I was going to reach it. Nothing would get in my way. After bro leaves, we wait for barely 5 minutes before we go into our boss's office to get cooking in the kitchen and pick up from where we left off the last time. We're in our boss's office and we're getting really heated. She's giving me that throat goat so snatching sloppy toppy 3000 treatments. Actually, to be honest, looking back now, the head was pretty mid. But at that point, I'd only gotten top once in my life, so this felt like euphoria. After she's done being a glizzy goblin, I get her on the table, and just as the tip of my USB drive touches the opening of her port and I'm about to put it all the way in, she asks me if I had a cap on my drive, you know, to prevent a baby. And of course I didn't. I mean, yeah, sure, I wanted to smash, but I did not plan this far ahead. I mean, bro, I honestly did not think I would make it this far. She's visibly uncomfortable with the fact that I'm not strapped, so I'm like, hey, look, it's okay. If you're not comfortable, we don't have to do this. I ended up just teasing her and playing around her ports with the tip of my USB drive and my fingers until it's time to close up the shop, which we do, and then we leave together. Anticlimactic, I know. Get over it. We never really talk after that. Got to find out from JB and some other guys that she was raw dogging other niggas. And looking back now, I'm glad it ended the way it did. I feel like I might have regretted it if we'd gone all the way. And as for swiping my V card, well, it would still happen a little over a year later in university. But that's a messy story for another day.